to Bloodborne. Now, if I sound a bit irritated, well, you can blame Fire Emblem. Ah, man, you wanna know why? Well, that's simple. I started a lunatic playthrough on Fire Emblem Awakening. And boy, was that a bad idea. I don't even want to talk about it, really. It's pretty harsh, but I'll do it anyway. So yeah, I believe I got Fire Emblem Awakening when it came out, but I didn't really play it that much. I recently, about 8 months ago, I got back into it, and ended up buying some DLC for it to make it easier, because if you're playing on hard, you can't really grind very well, because the item you can use to do that is kind of above my price range early on. But yeah, I did that so I have gold, so I can upgrade my weaponry and whatnot. And I didn't actually have too much of a problem on hard classic mode. It wasn't too bad, but I did lose 2 of my members early on. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal because I didn't really care, but yeah. Then recently, like less than 4 days ago actually, I decided to try doing on Lunatic, and boy, is there a lot of baloney. I don't even know if I want to just blatantly call it fake difficulty, but you start with 4 units. If you're familiar with the game, you'll know who they are, but only one of them will be any use to you. The other ones will kind of just weigh you down and get killed, and 2 of those 4 will get you a game over if they die. And one of them is a medic that will always get targeted if he's in the open. Blech. Making it hard to actually heal your members who are dying. So yeah, it's just kind of this shenanigans, and I would actually have some complaints about the system. I might discuss that if I actually remember. Hey Bloody, how's it going? Yeah, so yeah, and then there's another thing. Their stats are generally better than yours, in where it counts anyway, because they might have lower defense and whatnot, but there's a lot more than there are of you. And yeah, so they also have a lot more HP than you at their level. So that's really kind of annoying. And of course their speed and skill, which increases the amount of hits they can get, and their overall accuracy / avoid. Meaning that your weak level 1s can't even hit them or dodge nicely. That's turning even the first stage into complete and utter hell. Basically I have to rely on the knight, who starts as a 2nd tier class with 3 levels on him. Obviously his stats aren't to snuff for that particular level, but he'll be your crutch, and he is. But by the time you get to the 2nd chapter, you actually have to rely on RNG to stay alive, because he will start taking damage like crazy. In the first few stages, he'll be fine, or the first one I guess, but then he'll start dying. He gets the 3rd one. Oh man. I got past the first part of it, but then I keep failing on the 2nd part because his silver lance or whatever is pretty much broken. Plus I've been relying on sticking with that character that increases speed so he can get double hits, but he keeps dying, so I end up switching with someone who increases defense, and I've just been trying everything to keep everyone alive, and it just hasn't been working out. I mean, I could probably beat the levels, but I want all my characters, because I'm pretty sure once I get to a certain point, I can grind again, but then that kind of just takes away the difficulty mostly. But I'm sure even with my characters maxed out, they'll still die quite easily, so. Not to mention, whenever any of the other characters are introduced, they'll be too low level to survive. Oh man, I don't even want to think about it. It's gonna be hell. But I just figured I wanted to give it a try. But yeah, I haven't made it very far. And is that my torch on my back? I don't want that there. That's weird. But yep, I've been doing that. It's still relatively enjoyable, but it's pretty stressful to do that. I wouldn't recommend it if you... Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure plenty of people have done it, but the game kinda doesn't allow you to employ strategy. There's kind of a set way you have to do it or you'll die, which is relying on Frederick or whatever his name is. Honestly, it's kind of bad difficulty, so awful. They could have done other ways to increase the difficulty, but I don't know. Well, it'd be bloody, so I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Probably the witches. I'll head towards them. But yeah, some of the system mechanics really bother me, because archers can shoot 2 blocks away from their position, regardless if there's something between them, which to me just seems kind of silly, because in the animation they shoot straight, and obviously arrows arc or whatever, so you might aim up for distances, but shooting through a target seems kind of improbable. And then there's trying to make walls to prevent guys to go through. If you think about it rationally, an enemy unit should be stopped when they try and move past one of your own, because obviously your guy wouldn't be stupid enough to just sit there and let him walk through to attack one of your weaker units. But no, that's not a thing. He'll just let him. It's kind of sad. But yeah, that'd be kind of nice. I recall playing some sort of other strategy game that sort of employed something like that. I don't remember what it was. Was it Valkyria Chronicles or whatever? Where if you're moving along the map, your enemies, or certain ones that have certain weaponry, will attack you as you move, and your own units will do that too during the enemy's phases, I believe. I thought that was really clever. It'd be nice if it was set up more like that, because... Hello. These guys are still on me butts. Okay, never mind. Because really, it just seems really silly for your units just to sit there and claiming that it's like this great strategy game where it isn't entirely strategy based. I didn't actually talk about it, but RNG has a huge point into it. Like, your hit and evasion, because staying alive, even with your best strategy at the time, will highly rely on being able to dodge an attack from a certain enemy. And it's highly number related, so if you get a bad level up, that's gonna haunt you, especially early on, where you need the good numbers. So yeah, it just feels kind of bad for people who are like, oh, it's a strategy game, when it really isn't. It's a lot more RPG-esque. I mean, there is more strategy to it than, like, the Sky or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that just feels really silly. I mean, it's a good game. I like how they made it, but it just doesn't feel like a strategy game that tries to be on the really strategy side of things. But yeah. Hello, guy. Dun dun dun. I had more to say. I don't remember what it was. I think there was like the +5 to speed above your enemies lets you attack twice, which kind of sucks early on, because as I said, a lot of the enemies will have more speed than you and skill. Thus meaning you try and attack them, you'll get hammered twice, probably taking out your HP. Because you'll probably only have enough to take one hit before you're almost dead. From the start, almost all your characters will be like that. Not to mention, they attack your mages, thus... Is he still here? Thus, killing them off. They go for the easy targets. They won't... If they're right up against one of your tanks that you have lined up, they'll completely ignore them and just run ahead to your healer or whatever, which is nonsensical, because if they're right up to them, they'd technically be in combat or whatever. There should be something like that set up so their move is drastically reduced and maybe they get counterattacked when they're trying to get away. I mean, sure, that'd kind of suck for you, which would mean you'd have to strategize a lot more, but for attacking enemies, that would also restrict them, which would be clever. And this door, I don't know what's up with it. You can click open door and it just says closed. I don't think I've ever figured out what the heck the point of this is. Because otherwise it would say, like, closed from the other side or something, but it just says closed. So I have no idea what's up with that. Yeah. That's my Fire Emblem discussion. I like the game, and I had played the original, I believe, on the NES, using an emulator, because it's only released in Japan, I believe. But yeah, I played that, and I enjoyed it at the time. Pretty sure I sucked. But yeah, the whole losing your units thing can screw you over, and early on the hardest difficulty, wow. I'm starting to think you might actually need DLC to go anywhere in that game. What's that over there? What's that? I think I've seen that before. What is that? Huh? It's currently inoperable. Oh, did they just hang out over there and open it for me because I had the thing? Is that what that was? I never noticed that before. That's cool. Oops. You, sir, I hate you. Early on, this guy's kind of a jerk. That flamethrower will annihilate you. It is not a good time. But it's fine. He's dead. I killed him. Okay. Don't have much time left. I don't know what I'll discuss during the second part, which is probably going to be finishing clearing this and hang out in front of the church. Probably won't have enough time to fight the boss. I might do a third episode today. Oh wait, I wasn't going to fight the boss. I was going to go to Hemwick. Probably won't make it there. I could just fight the boss, but I think I'll do as I said. Go to Hemwick. Oh man, I'm gonna try clearing this out a different way from how I usually do, because I usually go up to a side path and hammer like 2 or 3 of the enemies from above. Can't do... Oh, I can do this actually. Hello. Skipping dialogue. Unfortunately, I don't have the clinic set up, so I can't tell the other guy to head over there. So he'll probably end up going to ISF's clinic. I don't feel like going back, so I'll just send him there. He's not very useful anyway. He does say some stuff, but whatever. Come on, guy. Oh, my song just ended. Let me head somewhere safe here. Safe. Now let's wave goodbye. Bye.